Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda, Jnana Paddhati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, Trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And Anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has his 5 face. Satyojata Murti has his 5 face. Ishana Murti has his 5 face. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made Science of Power Manifestation Yoga temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva Gana. All the Shiva Ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada,
The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Powerful cognition. One of the biggest diseases that people suffer physically is unable to be active. Having incompletion with being active, giving up the responsibility of what they need to be done because of the uncomfortable in non-renunciation that is convenient inaction born out of rajas. Bhagavan beautifully says, one of the biggest disease that people suffer physically is unable to be active. Having incompletions with being active, giving up the responsibility for what they need to do, be done because of their uncomfortable is not renunciation. That is convenient inaction born out of rajas. Please listen. I am defining sannyasi. When you don't take responsibility for anything, you live like a slave, Sudra. When you take responsibility for the money of the society, you become Vaisya. When you take the responsibility for the weapons of the society, you become Kshatriya. When you take the responsibility of the knowledge of the society, you become the Brahmana. When you take the responsibility for everything, you become sannyasi. Only when you take the responsibility, life happens to your body. If you have any disease, take responsibility for it so that you can heal and take care of that. You don't attract that disease again back. In the same way, if you have broken relationship because of your irresponsibility, unconsciousness, now take the responsibility that next time you don't do. Life does not end by breaking one relationship. You don't need to be the depressed, or you don't need to be to start being in the same space of powerlessness. When you take the responsibility, you can even patch up with the relationship you broke. you can approach the person and rebuild the relationship. In the same way, if you have broken relationship because of your irresponsibility, unconsciousness, now take the responsibility that next time you don't do it. Life does not, and by breaking one relationship, you don't need to be depressed, or you don't need to be start being in that same space of powerlessness. When you take responsibility, you can even patch up with the relationship you broke. You can approach the person and rebuild the relationship. Only when you take responsibility in the body, if you have any disease, take the responsibility for it, you can heal it. Bhagwan beautifully says the level of responsibility and how, for health and wealth, how we can be responsible and just walk out of it. Such a powerful cognition. Let's go to Shastra Pramana.
Mahima, power of increasing height of body and object, is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.76 to 7a. मरणं घात्यते तेन सकेनापि न घाध्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अणिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सन्नचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगल्पीयूषमपि वर्धते मरणं खाद्यते तेन सकेनापि न खाद्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अणिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सनचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगलपीयूषमपि वर्धते.
Shastra Pramanas are the eternal, unchangeable truths. They are from the source scriptures, revealed from the source scriptures, Veda, Agama, Upanishads. Shiva Samhita 5.7678. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, Death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. He manifests the highest powers such as Anima, Lahima, Mahima, and Vayu, the wind energy, moves equally throughout his body. The juices of his body also increases. Rasa Vriddhi, the nectar exuding from his ethereal lotus, also increases in him. Bhagavan beautifully says in this powerful cognition, there are different levels of responsibility. Vaisya, Satriya, Brahmana, and Sannyas, and Sudra. When you don't take any responsibility, you are Shudra. When you take the responsibility of making the money, you are Vaisya. You want to make the responsibility for power, you are Kshatriya. When you take the responsibility of knowledge, you become Brahmana. And when you take the responsibility of everything, you become sannyasi. And he says about how when we take the responsibility for our body, simply body returns to normal. And when we take the responsibility for the relationship, even the people who left will come back. The space of responsibility is the space that we can create in us. We are stuck with a mind which is like a fish market out there, jumping fishes and shouting fishes, and crazy market is living out there in front of the projector, which is projecting all these things in the outer world and collapsing your whole life. Here, Bhagavan says, when you have a huge space, when somebody asks Bhagavan, does he have thoughts? He says, thoughts are very small when you compare to millions of acres of land which is free. So he has such a immense, that Paramashanta Swarupa, such huge space. This thought cannot make any sound which can disturb it. That is why Bhagavan says, when you take more and more responsibility, responsibility is not work. It is completely feeling that end to end you are in charge of everything. It is that mother feeling, like becoming a mother is not responsible, but it's such a loving space and caring space. If you think growing up is a responsibility, we should stop growing up. But we all want to go to college, we all want to work, we all want to make huge houses and becoming this and that. Always we want. But same way, the responsibilism for ourselves, we take responsibility for outer world and think that will satisfy us. Outer world responsibility is good, but that can never give us a result. The responsibilism for the inner space that we take, more and more imbibing the life of Paramashiva in us, going towards inside and not outside. Outside is not wrong, but it does not give us any outcome. But inside, the more and more you look in, more and more you'll start tasting the rasa vriddhi, the juice of the body becomes increased, excluding from the ethereal lotus also increased. The Amrita, Bhagavan says, simply you'll start tasting that and manifesting as eternal immortality, the ultimate reality which happens in us. The more and more we look in, we open the door one by one, we start getting closer and closer to the Garbhamandir inside your heart. The Paramashiva who resides there, who is nothing but yourself, who is residing there as the ultimate. How Bhagavan said about the bird story. Each time the bird eats a nice fruit, it will want to go back and live as a happy life. But each time it eats a bad fruit, it will want to get back and go to Bhagavan and surrender. And doing that both again and again and again, finally reached on the top to see the bird, golden bird, with none other than the bird itself. The same way, Bhagavan makes us understand by doing all this exercise to look in, look in, look in, look in, and finally one day realizing that it is us who manifested all this and doesn't even nothing else exists other than you, and everything exists in their own form of you. So that is the most beautiful, powerful cognition Bhagavan has given in the Shastra Pramana. Let's go to Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the authorities of Hinduism, Vedic rishis who have time tested and verified the science of manifestation, powers of decreasing the height of the stem. According to the Hindu Purana, from Shiva Purana, chapter 4, Tulsi, Curse of the Tulsi, page 977. The Tulsi plant was the woman named Tulsi. She was married to Asura king who, due to the pity and devotion to Vishnu and her being Pati Vrita, utmost loyal to her husband, became invincible, and even Lord Shiva could not defeat Skanda Chud. So he requested Vishnu the preparation in which Trinity do find solution. Vishnu disguised himself as Skandachud and broke Vrinda's chastity. As her chastity destroyed, Skandachud lost his powers and was killed by the Shiva. Tulsi cursed Vishnu to become stone as he is stone-hearted, as he did injustice to Tulsi, who was in his ardent devotee and to be separated from his wife. Lord Goddess Lakshmi, this was later fulfilled when he was transformed into the black saligram stone and in his Ram avatar was separated from his wife Sita, who was kidnapped by the Ashura king Ravana. Tulsi had drowned herself in the ocean and herself transferred the soul to a plant, which was hence called Tulsi. Such a beautiful story of Tulsi in Shiva Purana, how she was the most chaste and how Krishna literally broke the chastity to kill the Asura. With this powerful cognition, let's go to the Atma Pramana.
Nithyanande. Subjective science, inner science, spiritual science. I am introducing subjective science, inner science. I am introducing a science which can be experienced, manifested. Understand, this power which can be experienced and manifested can be converted into any form of currency you want. Health, wealth, knowledge, longevity, relationships. In any form of currency you want to manifest, you can manifest. It is fundamental currency of the cosmos called Shakti. Understand? In the modern day, even God need to be explained in the language of currency, only then human being understands. We print in currency, we trust in God, but actually even when we pray to God, we trust in currency. Understand? That's the truth. We may print in currency, we trust God. In God we trust. But in reality, even when we work with God, we trust currency. That is why I have to talk in the language of currency. Understand? There is a fundamental currency of the cosmos which makes your life internally, externally extraordinary. That fundamental currency is called Shakti, Adi Shakti. I am introducing you that science, manifesting that cosmic currency, a thought current of operating based on that cosmic currency. Integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, completion, causing others reality. All these are fundamental principles. All these are fundamental principles, forms the foundation of that very cosmic currency, manifesting system, manifesting Shakti, Adi Shakti. Once you start manifesting that Adi Shakti, the source of powers in you, you can manifest health, you can manifest wealth, you can manifest powers, you can manifest relationships, you can manifest anything you want. It is all about just increasing the frequency of the power vibrating in you, reverberating in you, clarity in you.
Let's go to the Shakshi Pramana, where you can see the change of the object size.
Okay, so today we are playing with a new Shakti that we've been initiated in shrinking objects. So we actually did the first the Mahabhakya. We sat together, did the Mahabhakya, and then asked a question in visualize Omiji in our third eye, and then in our upper crown. And then we actually then went into the question, what are the people that we don't allow in our life? Just like Swamiji. Swamiji actually allows anybody. It can be anybody, it doesn't matter. Like Swamiji doesn't see countries or faces or races or anything like that. There is nothing like that here. So that level of completion, then I start looking at like the relationships in my life, what kind of people I don't like and what kind of people I like. And then after that, I actually pretty much focus on this in shrinking the sharpener, and then it shrank by millimeters.
Same happened with the pen lid. It shrunk by a few millimeters. Really happy with myself.
Thank you.
Swami.
Beautifully. You can see the size was changed. Here also we have pen cap size was decreased, shrunk when they did the power manifestation.
Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. Deadlifting. Powerlifting exercises can be harmful to shoulder, lower back, and knee injuries, from muscle strain, tendons chronic to fractures. The deadlift exercise utilizes the entire posterior chain in the body and is considered one of the most effective full body muscle building exercises. However, deadlifts can pose a risk of spinal damage. Deadlifts place force on the spinal disc, especially when done with heavy weight. If you perform these exercises with a rounded or arched back, the amount of disc compression increases substantially and can result in bulged disc, pinched nerves, or other issues. Preparation and step-by-step personal coaching are necessary for novice who wants to lift heavy weight. Charts are given to indicate the average weight one can lift depending on the gender, height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting powers of Ashta Maha Shaktis, power of increasing the size of others. Mahima. How adolescents from Nithyananda Gurukul can effortlessly uplift double the weight he should be able to lift for his height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting power of Ashta Maha Shaktis, powers to lift huge weights effortlessly. Also known as Lagima, power to make things lighter.
The Shastra Pramana, the direct words of Mahasadashiva, where Sadashiva reveals how this Shakti manifests. It is from the Paushkar Agama, Vidyapada, Patala 6. Lagima shigrage vitvam pankadhavapya majjanam mahima vyapya chasthanam brihadendriyadadibhihi. You can take on the stage now.
Yes, so first we have Srinivas, who'll be stepping up, and we'll take your weight first and see where you're at, and then we'll compare that number against the lift that you'll be doing. So if you want to just quickly step up and take your weight.
As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj, a Rudra of the Nithyananda order, is stepping up on the weighing scale, and you will be seeing, as you can see, he is 54.1 kgs.
So 54 kgs. And on the bar, as I mentioned earlier, I got a little excited talking about this, is 115 kgs. And just to put this into perspective, I actually haven't lifted this weight in over 3 years. So what he's going to be doing is something I haven't trained and done in 3 years. And so I'm excited to see this. What he'll be comparing is up against, and again, this is very logical and there's a lot of numbers involved. He's lifting roughly 120 pounds more than somebody that is a beginner, which is completely insane because I'm assuming he hasn't been training. If I don't know how long he's been training for, but I don't think he's been training very long. And so 120 pounds more than a beginner he'll be lifting, and he's lifting a weight that I haven't lifted in over 3 years. So I'll let him take this.
So that's great. Srinivasa Maharaj, you can come up in the front. You can see Srinivasa Maharaj is getting into the position. Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasan Maharaj is just 54 kgs and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
Set up the things for decreasing the height of the stem. Set up the camera with the timestamp, Jnananjan, scale to measure the height with the measuring tape, a stem or any leaf which is long enough for us to measure it, and a camera. Set up the camera for the whole manifestation, to capture the whole manifestation Shakti. Download the timestamp app, click on the video and ensure the timestamp is seen on the camera. Make sure the camera is facing you and the stem and very wide angle and a bright place. Don't miss recording all these great moments of Shakti Avishkarna. Guidelines for manifesting the powers. Turn on the video camera, apply the Jnananjan between your third eye, bring your awareness to your third eye, place the stem in front of you and measure the height twice for the accuracy. Through the third eye, change the height and manifest the powers of Ashtama Siddhi. After the manifestation, place the stem again and measure the height again for a couple of times for the accuracy. Now see the changes. If the height has decreased 5 to 10 points, you are manifesting the power. If you just feel the heat or the Kundalini energy and very small changes, yes, you have started manifesting the powers. Celebrate the whole thing so that more and more manifestation happen through you. Verify the video authentically. Share the video with powerful cognition with others, your families and friends. Listen to others' experience of this manifestation Shakti.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shakti Pada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside.
It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful, avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand
You are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched. By your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being, in the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagwan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Maha Sadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagwan gave beautiful explanation of how You can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process that no video editing should be done. Verification process of changing the stem height. Video should not be stopped or restarted at any point. All videos should have the timestamp and wide angle view. Do not touch the stem during the process. Do not tamper the height by adding or removing any item on the stem. Authentically measure the height and should decrease 5 to 10 units, visibly seen changes. Thank you so much for participating in this Power Shakti Avishkarna.
We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Parameswaram Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham